So after the nuke is set to remote detonate, Harry makes this impassioned speech, which is convincing, but if you listen to the arguments, it's actually trash.
If we don't get this job done, everybody's gone.
1 minute.
I've been drilling holes in the earth for 30 years, and I have never missed a depth that I have aimed for. By God, I am not going to miss this one. I will make 800 feet.
42 seconds.
Colonel, I need your help.
Swear on your daughter's life, on my family's, that you can hit that mark.
I will make 800 feet. I swear to God I will.
And let's turn this bomb off.
Okay, so an important conversation because this is where Harry and Sharp become friends. Until this time, they're slightly antagonistic, and from now on in the movie, they're on the same team. But this argument, it's I've never made a mistake before, therefore I never will again. That's not past predictions. Don't necessarily guarantee future outcomes. That's not how that works. That's like saying, well, first of all, he's not in the same scenario. He's like, I've never missed it. I've been drilling on this earth for 30. You're not on the earth.
That's true.
And he's like, I've never missed my mark, but you might in the future.
That's true.
That's like saying, I've never gotten a speeding ticket, therefore I never will again. But what if you're speeding and the cop's like, radar gun, radar gun, you're speeding. You got a ticket.
Well, that's why I don't wear a seatbelt. I mean, I've never been in an accident, so I don't need to wear a seatbelt. What's the problem?
Exactly.
I'm so good at driving that I would never get into an accident again.
So that's why I insist that all the kids in my school bus don't wear seatbelts either. Like, I've never gotten in an accident. Like, just get them seatbelts. What are we doing here? That's not tight logic.
That's right. So he's clearly not a financial advisor, where they say past results are not predictors of future events.
That's right.
Future results? Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, if the stock market's always climbing, then it'll never crash. Put all your money in the stock. Like, whatever crashes, it has happened.
So to be fair, Harry is taking ownership of the results, whereas a financial advisor would never take any ownership of anything unless they were guaranteed to win.
That's right. Gosh, it's like saying I've never missed a free throw, so therefore I never will again.
Yeah, and he's not on Earth with rocks that he's never seen before in a weird environment. Mm-hmm. It's very different than what he's used to on Earth.
Has he ever drilled through a iron ferrite plate? No, you just wouldn't dig there.
I mean, even if he has drilled through an iron ferrite plate, rocks are complicated. Could it be the same type of iron ferrite plate as on Earth, where there's like water and atmosphere and other things, life?
So this is the biggest gamble, I think, in the movie. It's actually Sharp gambling on Harry. Because Harry he says like this emotionally very strong, very convincing, like it sounds like it's good stuff, but it's actually just out of his butt. He's just saying stuff.
Talking out of his ass, what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't want the bomb to blow up. Harry doesn't want the bomb to blow up. He's like, say what I gotta say so the bomb doesn't go off.
Yep.
But,
and he convinces Sharp.
Why would he want to do that? Because is he convinced that the bomb blowing up on the surface wouldn't be effective? Or does he just not want to die in that moment? Or something else?
I would say it's something else that he believes in himself because he's never made a mistake before. Like, I get why he's saying it. For him, it feels right.
I see. So he has a job to do. He said he would do it. So he's going to do it. And the effectiveness of the bomb... Yeah, it's bad logic.
I've never gotten in a car accident before, therefore I never will. Like, what if you're a really super safe driver and somebody else hits you? Like, you can't control external factors.
Okay. What about this? What if I look at a bunch of grades in my grade book, and one student has gotten an A on every single test, and another person has gotten a C on every single test?
Yep.
If I were to predict the next scores for the test, is it totally independent for each student?
It is not, but it's not a guarantee. And in this situation, we need a guarantee. We're talking about the entire planet. We're talking about all the future of humanity. You got to make that mark.
That's true. If he doesn't make the mark, then they have no more ability to remote detonate.
Yep.
So that could mean mission failure, which is
the end of all life
everybody
on Earth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Including microbes, because with an asteroid of this size, it's going to boil the Earth's crust.
Yep. Flash fire, flash flame, flash ignite the atmosphere. Everything's dead.
Yeah. And I think it actually melts the crust. Like the Earth goes like to its primordial state where it's like lava on the surface, like real bad stuff.
Yeah, so this is the biggest gamble, and Sharp is convinced by Harry.
Mm-hmm. Now they got to do it.
My past experiences are guaranteed predictors.
And there's so many unknowns because even though they've drilled, I don't know, 100 feet, there's still a bunch of rock coming up that they don't know what it is.
And like gas pockets and stuff. Yep.
Right, they encounter gas pockets they didn't foresee.
Yep. Not good.
Not good. However, I remember this. So this is a picture of Ceres, which is the size of Texas.
It's like a near Earth object. It's like
it's the largest asteroid in the asteroid belt.
Oh.
And it's considered a dwarf planet because it's spherical. And if we look here, the radius, let's find diameter. Okay, I cannot see what I'm typing. Diameter. The mean diameter is 940 kilometers. And the size of Texas diameter. Let's try it.
Oh
yeah. Okay.
Can we get that? Can we get that kilometer? Oh, no, it's there, right? It's right there.
Okay.
Okay, that works.
So width 1300, length 1300.
Okay.
I rounded that wrong. Okay. So this is actually a bit smaller than Texas.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Ceres. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So in the movie, they say this is the asteroid. This is flying by the moon here towards the Earth. That this is the size of Texas. So it's the same size as Ceres. Which means this is a scale picture from Wikipedia.
Okay.
And this is the moon. This is the Earth.
Yep.
This is Ceres. And here is our little wire drawing of the asteroid.
Oh yeah, this
from
is
one
the,
of the computer
this is
screens.
Like the simulation in the movie.
Yeah, it comes from this computer screen down here.
Mm-hmm.
So we made the picture of the asteroid the size of Texas, which is a little bit, actually quite a bit smaller than Ceres because it's oblong.
Pretty close, yeah.
Okay, and this thing is going to impact Earth. Boom!
Okay.
That's huge. That's huge.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right, that's gonna wreck everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the size of Texas. Okay, so we zoom in here. This is the size of Texas. Okay. This is 940 kilometers across. 800 feet is like beep. Like you can't even see. It's not even a pixel on this.
Oh. Wait, 800 feet is. Can we keep this all in the same units? 800 feet. How much is that in kilometers?
Okay.
It's like a quarter kilometer.
Feet. Oh, that's wrong. 800 feet in kilometers is 0.25, so about a quarter kilometer. So.
Oh yeah. So if this thing is 940 kilometers in diameter, then a quarter kilometer is like a little, like a little chip in the surface.
So this is similar size.
So they're gonna blow up this asteroid from the inside, but they're only going to drill in like a little tiny sliver of the outside.
Right. So assuming they're on one of these, I don't know, maybe deep inside, it's still like a doot, like that's barely drilling in.
So their analogy is like put the firecracker inside your hand, but actually when you do the numbers, it's like put the firecracker under the first skin cell. Yeah. It's not inside.
Yeah. And if you look at here's the asteroid right before explosion. Here's the explosion. Okay. Clearly from the middle. How did they drill? If they drilled 800 feet to the middle, that means this thing is like 1,600 feet to 2,000 feet. And some like pretty small. That's not near the size of Texas. So
okay. Alternatively, maybe I can make it work. So they drill 800 feet into the asteroid, and maybe there's a fault line, a little weak spot right there, a little plane that's ready to break.
I mean, it looks like they do have good information about the asteroid. They made a wire mesh. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a clear cleavage zone somewhere here. Mm-hmm. And they drill into that cleavage zone, and then
maybe it's hollow on the inside. You just get 800 feet in, and then it's like dropping a rock down the well. They would have had to have known that it's hollow on the inside.
How could they have known that it was hollow? Okay, so if they can figure out its mass, and I don't know how they would figure out its mass if it doesn't have a moon,
That's right.
but somehow they figured out its mass, and then they can use spectroscopy to figure out its composition.
Okay.
If they know its composition, they know the density of the rock that is made up of. And they would find enormous discrepancy between the mass and the density. And then they must say, it's hollow. So 800 feet through the thin shell, we can pop it into the middle and then blow it up from the inside.
It's like that chocolate ice cream shell simulation.
But that still means if you drill in, you got to like pop it into the hollow center. And it's got to travel like 500 kilometers. You got to really push that thing. Okay. Either way, there is some discrepancies going on with the size. This is the size of Texas. So this is the size of Texas. 800 feet ain't putting you in the middle of the asteroid.
Maybe, okay, absolutely not. I totally agree with you. Maybe 800 feet was a number that came up from drilling. So
Okay.
like they're going to be on the asteroid for, I don't know, a few hours. And so
Okay.
800 feet is like a reasonable depth that you can get into, like on the edge of what is normal to get to.
Okay. Deepest drilling on Earth. The Kola super deep borehole in Russia is the deepest man-made hole on Earth and the deepest artificial point on Earth, reaching a depth of 40,000 feet or 12,000 meters. And
Okay, but how long did it take to make that? Oh, beginning in 1970 is there in the first paragraph.
Yeah.
Beginning in
Beginning in-
1970, abandoned in 19. So it took 20 years.
yeah, so it's taking
okay.
years. Yeah.
So humans can drill that deep. It's just not in the time scale of this movie.
Okay, but to be clear, also 1,200 meters is 12 kilometers, which back at this
Wow.
picture is a little bit more of a boop.
That's right.
Right.
Because across that diameter is, we said it was 940 kilometers.
Yeah, this is
So 12
940.
kilometers is still nothing.
940. So maybe it's a
It's
pixel or
still-
two.
It's still nothing. It's still.
It's still nothing.
All right.
Well, okay.
Ignore
mean-
that. It's fine.
Yeah, I think we have to ignore that. It's either not the size of Texas, or no, I think that's the one we have to ignore. It cannot be the size of Texas. They were exaggerating for some reason, but it's actually significantly smaller. And so drilling 800 feet actually gets you somewhat to the middle of the asteroid, which we're talking, this thing is maybe a mile across, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. Watch out. Watch out, Mr. President. We got an asteroid the size of Rhode Island coming down. Like,
I mean, I think how
it
big...
would still Rhode Island would still mess up people, like, for sure. Depending on the kinetic energy, it could maybe still be world ending. It just doesn't sound good.
Do you know this Tunguska explosion?
Yeah.
Flat. I wonder how big they estimate the asteroid to be.
First of all, can we explain what the Tunguska event is?
Okay, let's okay. The Tunguska event was a large explosion of between 3 and 50 megatons that occurred near the Podkamenaya Tunguska River in Yaniske Governorate in Russia on the morning of 30th June 1908. The explosion over a sparsely populated eastern Siberia flattened an estimated 80 million trees over 2,000 kilometers squared.
So what caused this explosion?
They think it was the explosion is generally attributed to a meteor airburst, the
Cool.
atmospheric explosion of a stony asteroid about 50 to 60 meters wide. Oh, okay.
So a small asteroid on the scale of this movie came down to the Earth. I guess it's a meteor, almost meteorite. So it's in the atmosphere, and then instead of crashing to the ground, it exploded on the surface.
Right.
And there's like a ring of trees that are all just blown down. People walked in, and they're like, "What is this?"
Whoa, what the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So the Tunguska event, if it happened over a major city, would have been devastating.
Yeah,
But-
everything dead.
It's not a global killer; it's a local killer. So that's 50 to 60 meters at 60,000 miles an hour.
So much
So-
faster than the one in the movie. In the movie, I think we're doing 20,000.
Yeah. Doing between 20 and
Kilometers per hour.
30,000 miles per hour. But if it's a mile across, I think that might be a planet killer. So, I mean, I think if we ignore the size of Texas, part of it, I think we're still consistent.
Okay.
Okay.
Like 800 feet is a reasonable depth for something that's so dangerous to the Earth.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm down with that.
Mm-hmm.